Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, all of you. And just I will take 2 minutes to allow all the student.
सर
Yes, Aditya.
सर देव C++ कहाँ मिलेगा?
Sorry, Dev C++.
Where I will find dev C++, sir?
I share the link, or you can search in the Google. Just Dev C++ free install. You can already download it available.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Just search in Google. You can find that. So I think this is 11:31. We are just going to start. My screen is visible. Can
Yes, sir.
anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So very good morning to all of you. And today we have to discuss about the CSC 101, that is the programming for problem solving in C language. Now I am just share with you, this is the syllabus of the programming for problem solving. Here we have to discuss the first three module is taken by me. This first two module, this two module is taken by me, and after that the rest part, few part is taken by the Minal sir. I think MK sir is starting this part, introduction to C, this part. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
And I just starting from today in
Yes.
the module one, so we can discuss each and everything. Yes, Sonu, can you please say what you have? Sonu Sharma? Okay. So I will just start the today basic part, the introduction to programming and the computer. So these are the very brief introduction about the computer and how can we use the computer. And just before the start, I am just again saying I am Professor Ratul De, and I am taking the class of the CSC 101 programming for problem solving. So I will just comes to the PPT. I think my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Yes, sir.
So just very first point, we have to discuss the basic computer. Now, what is the basic computer? Can anyone say what is a computer?
Computer is an electronic device which perform the.
So it's a electronics device. That means it is a machine. After all, it is a machine. So in this machine, we can calculate something. You can go for the any kind of arithmetic operation, any kind of logical operation, any kind of controlling system. So I will just go to the next slide. This is called the basic component of the computer. So there are the four basic component. Maybe you know that. First is the input unit. Can anyone say which are the input unit of a computer system?
Keyboard, mouse,
Keyboard,
microphone.
mouse,
So
microphone.
yes, so whatever input we are taken, that is actually the information is taken from the user. So your keyboard is taken information from us, your mouse is taken information from us. Can anyone say what are the output device of the computer system?
Monitor.
We
Yes,
monitor.
your monitor, your speaker, your printer also, which gives the output from the outside world. This is called the output unit. Now the third is the central processing unit, and in the short we can say this is the CPU. The central processing unit, in short we can write here, this is the
CPU.
CPU. So this, what is the job of the CPU? The job of the CPU is it can control all these things, all the instruction, all the address, and also it can use for the arithmetic and logical operation. Any kind of arithmetic operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, any kind of operation, and any kind of logical operation is done by the CPU, that is the central processing unit. And someone says that this is the heart part of the computer system. So second, last one is the memory unit. So whatever we have done, this memory unit store the data, because whatever we are going to process, this data will be stored in some location. Now where we can locate this thing? This is in the memory unit. It is clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
just go for this thing in some specific format. So we know the input device, we know the output device, and now in between that there are the CPU, that is called the central processing unit, and this CPU is mainly divided in two parts. First is control unit. Can anyone say what is the job of a control unit? Can anyone say? The job of a control unit is just collect some instruction, and this instruction will be communicate between them. Suppose you are clicking something from the input device, you are using mouse, you just click one file. Now whenever you just click this on one file, automatically this file is open to us. Now this instruction is given by you. You are clicking with the mouse, that means you are giving some instruction to the computer system, and at the same time the control unit is doing their job. Matlab, that means they are connect this file, open with you, and you can see the file. So the backend job is done by the control unit. It is clear?
Yes,
This
sir.
is, and the second is the arithmetic logic unit, and in the short form we can say this is the ALU. So in the ALU you can just find out any kind of arithmetic operation, any kind of logical operation. Arithmetic operation means addition, subtraction, multiplication, square root, this all this thing. And the logical operation means if we are compare something, if we are compared to number, it is same or not, if you are compare some number which is the greater than or less than, so any kind of logical operation is done by there. And this whatever the process is going on, you have to store the data. Where we can store the data? This is in the memory unit. So in
Memory
the,
unit, sir.
yes, we just store all the data. So we have to go for the next slide, how we can discuss this all for the computer system. Mainly we have worked with the application software. In the short form, it is called the app also. You can find out any app for the mobile version. So in the very first, we have some applications, suppose Microsoft Word, suppose some game, suppose some browser, maybe this is the Firefox, maybe this is the no, any UC, any kind of browser, any kind of Photoshop software. So here it is done. Whatever we are accessing, this is in the application software. We are use that. We just create some Word file. You are writing something. You are going for the bold, italic, any kind of thing. Now each and every instruction is come to the system software. Now what is the system software? This your operating system is the system software. You can see sometime your application software is not compatible with the system software. You can see that in the your MS Word is not accept because you have the operating system 32-bit. So this should be compatible between the system software and the application software. Now, whenever it's come the instruction as a system software, actually this high level language is converted to the assembly level language. Here we are using, this is the high level language. The high level language, here it is come the assembly level language. In the assembly level language, we can just convert the high level language to the operating system language. Now, who are doing your job? Actually doing for that, this is the hardware. So hardware is the last option. So whatever instruction come as a assembly level, it is coming to actual hardware. Maybe it's come for the memory, maybe it's come for the CPU. So and this hardware level actually work for the binary language, or we can say the hardware level language. So this hardware is only know 0 and 1, because in the all the hardware there are the two options. 0 means this is off, 1 means this is on. The same thing has happened for all the mechanical device, all the electronics device. If you think for your bulb, this is the 0 1 position, either it is on, either it is off. So in the hardware level, whenever we are talking for the hardware, they are discuss the uh, machine level language. In the machine level language, it is come for the 0, either 0 or 1. So in this level, there are the actual operation is done, and this actual operation is converted to the again go to the system software. Again, it's go to the application software, and we can check the difference of that. We just writing something, that means the instruction come to application software to the system software, again system software to the hardware level, that means the machine level language. Here it is convert this all the data, all the instruction, and after that, after conversion, it's go to the again system software, it's go to the again application software, and we can see that you are writing in the word file, or you can doing some operation in the word file. Your operation is shown in the application level, but the job is done actual the hardware level. Now in this complete semester, we have to discuss the next few class, we have to discuss for the 0 1 few mathematical part. I think it is clear to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh. So now just I will just doing the few input unit. So you know that keyboard, mouse, your touchpad. Actually, touchpad is working for input and the output, both of them. Your web camera, your microphone, this all are the input unit. And what are the output unit? You know that monitor, speaker, your printer, your headphone, these all are the output unit, because it gives some output from the computer. So from the computer, they are given some output to us in the outside world. So it is work as an output device. And the next we have to discuss for the memory unit. Now in the memory is mainly divided in the two part. Number one is the volatile memory, number two is the non-volatile memory. Now you can remember with the name volatile, that means this is the whatever we have stored the data, he just missed the data when the power source is off. So this type of memory lost all the data when power source is off. So the example of this volatile memory is the RAM. The full form of RAM is the random access memory. The example of the volatile memory is the cache memory. The example of the register, the example of volatile memory is the register. So what are they are doing? They are stored data when the computer is open, but when the computer is shut down or the power off, or this computer is going to shut down, on that time the complete data is missing. The whatever data is stored in this memory is completely clean when the
Sir.
system is shut down.
Sir,
Yes.
what is register, sir?
Register is the one memory which is associated to the processor.
Oh, okay, okay, sir.
So these three are the memory. I will just tell you one thing. This is the interesting thing. You can install one software. The software name is the CPUZ. So in using this software, you can find in your machine what is the RAM size, in your machine what is the cache size, in your machine what is the register size also. You just install this software. This is the few MB software. You can install in mobile also. This is very easy to identify in your machine what is the RAM size, cache size, register size, all the details information is given by them. Now, the second part of the memory is called the non-volatile memory. Non-volatile memory means this is for the permanent storage. So this type of memory store the data when the power source is off, and it is a one kind of permanent storage. Maybe you know the name. I will just repeat this thing. This is the solid state device. The short form is the SSD. You know, heard about the name SSD. The second is the hard disks or the secondary memory, or whatever we say in our bulk storage. Mainly we have used for this is the bulk storage. And another type of non-volatile memory is the read-only memory. And the short form this call is the ROM. And last is the USB stick. USB stick is also one kind of non-volatile memory. So are you clear about the volatile and non-volatile?
Yes, sir.
Yes, no? Just I will just recap this thing. Volatile means whenever the power is off, whenever the machine is shut down, your data will be removed. There is no data storage. And the non-volatile memory is the permanent storage. When the power is off or on, the data is storage for the unlimited time. So we have to go for the memory hierarchy. So in the computer system, maybe you know that there are the different kind of memories available. So at the very first, well-known memory is called the hard disk, or this is called the secondary memory. So what is done in the secondary memory? The secondary memory is a bulk data storage where we can store all the movies, all the songs, all the bulk storage we just store here. And the capacity is the highest capacity of a computer to store the data is the secondary memory or the hard disk. Now the speed of this hard disk is very slow, and to gain the speed we are using different kind of memory to gain the speed. What is that? And the next memory is called the main memory or the primary memory, which is called the RAM, random access memory. Maybe you heard about the RAM. This RAM is a one kind of volatile memory. This is a volatile memory, but this is a non-volatile memory in the hard disk. Non-volatile memory, and this is the volatile memory. Now what is happened, the size of the RAM is much less than the hard disk. You can see your machine, maybe your machine have the hard disk is the 500 GB, but your RAM size is 2 GB, 4 GB, or someone use the 8 GB. Now what has happened, the size is drastically changed in the higher speed, but the speed is again higher. You can see this in this graph. There is speed is little bit higher in the upper side. And the same way the cache is there. There is the cache memory. Again the cache memory is the volatile memory, and the speed of this particular memory, the cache memory is little bit higher than the RAM. Again the register is there. There is the high speed memory. So here we can just high speed of data transfer, but in the storage capacity is very slow. I will just explain one thing. In here the hard disk, maybe the size is the 500 GB. 500 GB you can find in your machine. On that time you can find that in your RAM size is the 4 GB. Maybe you can find that your cache size is the few MB, maybe 5 MB, maybe some MB, and that's at the same time your register size is few KB. So you can identify that. Each and every step we are drastically we just drastically change the capacity. The storage capacity is drastically changed. Now at the same time the speed is high. To access one file in this 500 GB is very time consuming, but RAM size it is very easy to access, time less than that. Whenever it comes to the cache memory, again it's take the less time, and in the register it is fraction of second, within few fraction of microsecond we have to complete the job. So now actually the processor is connected to this particular register. Now you have in your mind, we have why we are using this four kind of memory in our computer system. Why not in the hard disks? Only and only hard disks. Because of that, whenever we have to run for the computer is running behind of the processor. Now, when the processor is running, you have to give data is equivalent to the speed of the processor. Now, generally the register size or the register speed is the equivalent to the processor speed, so that we can access each and every time processor to the register. So the processor will not be idle in the situation, any situation. It is clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
So I just recap this thing. At the very basic level, there is the secondary memory. This is called the non-volatile memory. And after that, these all are the volatile memory. So there are the main memory or RAM, random access memory, cache memory, and the register. So the next slide we have to discuss for the other peripheral device, which is connected to the our computer system or this. So can anyone say what is this one? Bluetooth. So can anyone say what is the job of the Bluetooth? Why we are using Bluetooth?
To transfer data.
Bluetooth
Not
is
only
the device
transfer
which
data,
connects to
we
the
just
data.
collect all the device and we just communicate between this all device through the Bluetooth. Maybe one device is your mobile phone and the another device your headphone, Bluetooth headphone. Now you can just use connection using the Bluetooth. You just use communication between two mobile device in some specific distance. Bluetooth is working in some distance. Can anyone say why the name is Bluetooth? Well, there is any blue color concept. Can anyone?
No, sir.
Okay, the Bluetooth actually, I will just give you one history.
I can guess, sir. I don't
Sir,
know.
it is on the name of a Danish king, Denmark's
Yes,
king.
yes, Denmark king, you are right. Actually, this Bluetooth invent in the Denmark. In the Denmark, there is one king. The name is the King Bluetooth. This king is working in all over in his life. Here, just collecting all the individual state and make the Denmark as a country. So with the respect of the King Bluetooth, they are give the name is the Bluetooth because the Bluetooth is actually connecting this all the device. It is clear what is the Bluetooth, why the name is come as a Bluetooth.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the next is the magnetic tape. Can anyone say what is the magnetic tape? I will just share with you. In the maybe it is not used in the today's daily life. You may remember few years back.
Real audio.
मैग्नेटिक टेप सर यूज किया जाता है रिकॉर्डिंग के लिए और कंप्यूटर डाटा
So the
Sir, for recording that music.
the real
Yes, yes,
cassette used for recording.
yes.
Real cassettes.
Before few years, we are using some device. This is called a cassette, which is connected to your radio. There is cassette. Within that cassette, there is one reel. Within this reel, there is one reel where we can store the data. I hope you can remember this thing.
Yes, sir.
Yes, this is the magnetic tape. Within this reel, you can find that there is small line is there, and we are just open this particular cassette. Whenever we have to open the cassette, you have to change the location of the reel. So this is called the magnetic tape, which is generally not used in the today's life. And the second one is CD and DVD. I hope all of you know that the CD and DVD, this is the actual
Yes,
the
sir.
optical device. If someone say example of the optical device, you have to say this is the CD and DVD. Now what is done in the optical device, you can see the back side of the optical device. There is the different color is there in the optical device. When we run the CD or DVD, there is option is come in the narrow software. You can see that option is come we just burn the particular CD. Burn means actually we are using some electromagnetic wave to burn the location of the particular CD where we are going to write the data. So you can remember when the CD is run, after that we can see which part is data is available, which part is blank. You just in your naked eye you can see that. So this is actually run by the burning system. So they are using the microwave. According to the microwave, we have to burn the CD. So you remember when the CD writing is complete, it is you can separately identify this which part is data is stored, which part is not stored. So this is the optical device, and another device is called the floppy disk, which is same as the secondary memory. The size of this particular floppy disk is very less, near about 4 to 5 MB. So we are slowly absolute this all the device. It is clear? We just discussed the different type of other peripheral device. It is clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we have to discuss the few things, that is the website, or you know that we generally use the .com. So
Sir.
whatever website we are writing, generally we are writing google.com, facebook.com. Now whenever you are writing the .com, it is come as google.co.in. I hope you understand. Generally, I will just go for the brief introduction. So .com is used for the USA. Generally, the .com is used for the USA. Now the large company, something like Google, something like Facebook, they are creating several server for different location. Maybe one server for India. For India, there is server in the Hyderabad, Google server. So whenever you enter the google.com, it's come as the google.co.in. That means you are entered the Indian software. IN means the Indian. If you go to the France and enter the google.com, it's come that google.co.fr. FR is the France. If you go to the Bangladesh, it's go for the google.co.bn. If you go to the Pakistan, it is come as a google.co.pk. So I hope you can understand this. .in means India. So I will just share one example. Do you heard about the songs.pk?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So .pk means the server of this particular website is in the Pakistan. So and the another part is the .org. .org is used for the organizational website. If any website is end with .org, that means this is the organizational website. If any website .edu, that means this website is for the education purpose. You can see in the uem.edu.in. If any website is for the .net, that is for the mainly business purpose. .net is used for the business purpose. So using this website, using the website link, you can identify what kind of job it is, where the server is located in this particular website. So can we go for the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
now we have to discuss the several application of a computer system. Now, in the today's world, all the sector are using the computer. Without computer is not run any sector. If you go for the business sector, there is done by the using computer. There is the payroll calculation, budget analysis, financial forecasting, and managing employee. These all are done by the business in using computer. If you go for the banking sector, there is the online transaction. Any online transaction is done by the computer system. And even your ATM, after all, ATM is a machine. After all, this is a machine, that means it is a computer system. If you go for the education sector, you are using the online class. So this is the computer based education. In the marketing sector, any kind of advertising, any kind of home delivery, the system is Amazon, Flipkart. They are doing their job, their complete business through the computer system. Even for the army also, any kind of missile control, you can see that different kind of missile we have. Now each and every control is done by the computer system. Even in the today's world, the army training is done by some simulation software. This is through the computer system. Again, there's any kind of smart weapon, this all are done by the computer system. Any kind of communication, any kind of chatting operation, WhatsApp, whatever we are using, Facebook, email operation, this all is done by the video conferencing, this all is done by the computer system. And also in the government, if you in the today's world, if you go for some PAN card, if you go for some voter card update, each and everything is available in the online. You can find out each and every disaster, if any information is available in the website. So government slowly adopt this particular online computer system. And also if you go for the sale tax, if you go for the income tax, everything there is connected with the computer. So the application of a computer is everywhere, in the every sector you can identify there is the using of computer. So we have to go for the next slide, just generation of a computer. So I will just explain with you different kind of generation. Now in the first generation computer, I hope you understand, on that time in the 1946 to 1954, on that time we are using the valve. Using this valve, they have coming generate some heat, and on that time you can easily identify that in the first generation computer there is one room for the computer. You have to enter this room. This is a computer room, and the operating of the computer is not a very easy task. There are some person who are well known how to operate the computer. Now we are coming for the second generation after 1954. There are using slowly the different kind of transistor. So in this transistor we are using little bit small size, little bit less power capacity, and little bit faster computer. Now in the second generation computer we are using, on that time they are using the punch card. One read of the punch card, it takes many hours time to run a program. Whatever today we are running a C program within fraction of second. Now on that time, to run a C program is a very difficult job that takes 2 hours. If you have any mistake, so then again you have to update and you have to do again. Now we are coming for the third generation computer. In the third generation computer, we can call this is our PC. That is PC full form is the personal computer. So many of you use the personal computer, and this computer is used by the integrated circuit. So using the integrated circuit, the size is much less. Using the integrated circuit, the space and the power consume is the very low. So after that we are working till now in the 1980 to till now, the fourth generation computer, maybe whatever we have used the computer, this is the fourth generation computer. Generally this fourth generation computer is used the VLSI technique. That is the one of the electronics term, VLSI technique. They are using this VLSI technique to size of the IC is very small, the size of the circuit is very small, and it takes the minimum power. It takes the very minimum power. In the next generation computer, whatever we can say, which is connected with the AI, artificial intelligence. So in this computer, we can say this is the upcoming computer. So in the upcoming computer, the computer able to think something. Slowly we are going to on this line. So computer is able to think something. They can easy to identify that what is the next requirement is. So there is the equivalent to our human brain. When the AI is come, that is name is the artificial intelligence. So we are intelligent person. So because we are a human body, so this is artificially intelligent. So they are also intelligent. They are doing their own job. we cannot say each and every time. Automatically computer is doing their job. So this is the upcoming days we are using the 5th generation computer, and now we are using generally uh, in the till now we are using the 4th generation computer. So I think it is clear to all of you the different generation of a computer.
Yes, sir.
Now I will just go for the next slide. So if you open a computer, so you can find out these are the device, mainly the part of the CPU. If you say this is the cabinet, this is the cabinet. Within this cabinet, you can find this. So at the very first, there is the SMPS. We have to know that the SMPS
So the slide is not visible.
slide is not visible. Can you please check? I think it is visible.
It's visible.
Yes, sir. It's
It is
visible,
visible,
sir.
sir. Visible, sir.
Visible, sir.
Just I have go for the very first point. If you open the computer, very first point there is the SMPS. The SMPS is working for the power supply. Generally, we are using 220 volt power. Maybe you see that the 220 volt power we are run our light, fan, all the everything. So SMPS job is whenever it's come as a 220 volt, it is convert to the 5 volt or the 12 volt or the 12 volt. So whenever we have to add the 220 volt power, the SMPS reduce the power and convert to the 5 volt and the 12 volt. So you can see that after that this power is coming to the motherboard, because the all the computer system whatever we can see except the monitor, this is run either 5 volt or the 12 volt. So this power is come here in the motherboard. Now the main job is done by the processor. You can see this is like a processor. You can see that this is same as a processor. So we just fixed it in middle of that. In this particular location, we just fixed that. And this processor is very heat, actually generate quickly heat. So reduce this heat, we are using some fan, or we are using some which can reduce the heat. And you can see there is the RAM. We many of you know that what is the RAM. Just many of you use that. And the another part is the optical driver. So this is run for the CD and the DVD. And the next is the hard drive. This is the secondary memory, whatever we can say. And this is the monitor, and someone used the video card or the graphics card. So this is, you can see like a graphics card, and the today's world there is the onboard graphics card is available. So we are using this basic component to run a computer. So I just recap this thing. This is the coming the power supply. This power supply is either 5 volt or the 12 volt. Now here we put the processor in between that, in between the motherboard. Now this motherboard, the processor is doing their job. The main execution is done in the processor. Now within this processor, there is the cache memory and the register within this processor. So after that, we have to assemble the RAM or random access memory in this particular slot. This is the slot for the RAM. And after that, we have to put that CD drive for the optical device, secondary memory, and the today's world we are using the SSD also. And this is the monitor, and there is the graphics card or the video card. And this fan is used for the just cooling purpose. And this fan also working in the 5 volt power. Clear? Can anybody reply?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
So if any doubt, please tell. Please unmute yourself.
Okay.
And
What is the purpose of .org?
sorry, can you please repeat?
Sir, what is the purpose of using .org while we are browsing?
Okay. I'm just coming here. Actually, that ORG is working for the organization. I will just go for that. ORG is working for the organization. Any kind of organization can use that company name .org. Suppose you have one firm with your business. Now on that time is the organization. Organization is generally the non-profit organization. Some organization we can say the non-profit organization. On that time we have to use the .org. If this is the profitable, this is called the business organization. For business organization, we have to use the .net.
Okay, sir.
Is
Sir, and
this
dot
clear?
com.
.com is generally used in the USA. Maybe sometime you have to give the high money for the .com.
Okay, sir.
You can use the .com, that is also available. Okay. So I will just share with you the exam link in the WhatsApp group. You can see that, and I am requesting to all of you, please give the exam through the Google Sheet. The Google link is available in the WhatsApp group. Can anybody please check?
Sir, will you share this PPT in the Google?
Yes, sir. It
In the WhatsApp
Yes.
group?
Yes. 1 second. Just take the 2 minutes time from you. We'll just stop sharing. Just allow me just 2 minutes.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
So this roll number, what should I give it right here?
Actually, your roll number, which is given by the college, maybe
Yeah.
its roll number is 12000.
Yeah, that is the enrollment number.
Yes,
So
yes.
should I write that?
I will share you one link. This is the Google Classroom link. You just click that. I will just share my screen again. So this is your Google Classroom link. I am shared with you in the chat box in the classroom. You just join this particular Google Classroom, and here we'll give the each and every day all the class in the C language, and we can give the some assignment, some discussion here. Individual discussion can be done here. So I'm requesting to join the Google Classroom using this code, or you can write the chat box this particular classroom link. You just click this particular classroom and join with me. I hope this link is visible to all of you. Yes, no, any reply?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I am requesting to do two things. First, you have to click this link and join the group. Second, remember that give the exam through the Google Sheet, because if you are not give the exam, we treat as a you are not present in the class. So just there is the 3 MCQ type question, which is very easy. You just give the exam.
Sir, done.
Can
Exam
you share
done.
the exam link again?
Sorry, Abhishek.
Can you share the exam link again?
I will share the exam link. Okay. Just a minute. This is the exam link I will share with you. You can see that. Yes. Apurna, definitely we will share all the book, all the study material, all this thing in this particular group. You please join the Google Classroom link, and here we will already there is given some notes in this. And you have some email notification also. When you join this particular group, you have some email notification. So I am requesting to all of you, please give the exam and please join the Google group.
Done, sir.
Okay. If both are complete, you please leave the meeting, and thank you very much to joining this class.